In a pointed critique, South African opposition leader Julius Malema has expressed disappointment with Kenyan President William Ruto, highlighting perceived shortcomings in delivering on the commitments made to the Kenyan electorate during his candidacy. The outspoken politician asserted that the Kenyan president has undergone a transformation, deviating from the persona that was campaigned for and sought the trust of Kenyan voters. Julius Malema expressed skepticism, stating, "I don't know if President William Ruto means it because he said so many things, and I cannot locate him these days because the things he said during elections and the things he is doing now are two different things." Speaking before a large audience at Lukenya University in Makueni County, Kenya, during the inauguration of the Pan-African Institute, Malema criticized the president for not aligning his actions with his statements, particularly regarding the elimination of the US dollar as a trade currency in Africa. Malema expressed doubt, stating, "I don't know because I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own, but his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar." Malema also accused Ruto of welcoming a murderer with open arms, rolling out the red carpet and receiving salutes from the local army. In his fiery narrative, Malema condemned Ruto for honoring someone responsible for the deaths of Kenyan citizens, portraying the act as a disturbing betrayal of moral values.
I don't know if President William Ruto means it, because he said so many things and I can't locate him these days, because the things he said during election and the things he's doing now are two different things. I don't know, because I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own currency, but his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar. The latest being putting a red carpet for a murderer, a person who killed the Kenyan people, coming into this country, receiving a red carpet and being saluted by our own army.
As the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters Party, Malema strongly criticized the president for deviating from the principles upheld by African freedom fighters who sacrificed their lives in the struggle against colonialists. Malema condemned the Kenyan head of state for what he perceived as an inappropriate gesture, expressing disapproval of the president's smiles and handshakes with the United Kingdom's King Charles and Queen Camilla during their recent visit to the country. There were calls for Britain's King Charles III to apologize for colonial-era atrocities in Kenya ahead of his visit to the country this month. However, according to Malema, the king's failure to apologize stems from a belief in racial superiority. Malema urged the Kenyan government to take a decisive stance, urging them to choose between embracing Pan-Africanism or aligning with neo-colonialism. Malema emphasized the historical context, asserting that the Kenyan army traces its roots to the Mau Mau rebellion. He questioned the appropriateness of saluting those connected to the suppression of the Mau Mau rebellion, emphasizing a responsibility to uphold the true cause. According to Malema, Africans carry a duty to remind the British monarchy of the atrocities committed against Africans during the colonial era.
This is not a Kenyan army, it's not a colonialist army. The Kenyan army is a product of the Mau Mau rebellion, and those who killed our people in the Mau Mau rebellion cannot be saluted by the same army of the children of those who were killed during Mau Mau rebellion. We have a duty to stay true to the cause. We have a duty to remind the king and Britain of what they did to us. Indeed, he shows no remorse. He says this was bad, it shouldn't have happened. But he runs short of, "I apologize, I am sorry." He will never say he is sorry, for because he thinks that his race makes him superior and he's not qualified to apologize to those who are junior to him.
Buckingham Palace announced that the King and Queen Camilla were going to visit Kenya from October 31st to November 3rd, marking Charles' first trip to a Commonwealth country since ascending to the throne last year. The visit was intended to celebrate the warm relationship between the two nations as Kenya approaches the 60th anniversary of independence from Britain in December. So, what do you think of our video? What are your thoughts on Malema's critique of William Ruto for not fulfilling his promises? Do you believe Malema's criticism is valid, or do you have a different perspective? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and as always, do subscribe to the New Africa channel for more exciting future videos.